What's up, family? This is your local OG Juggalo here. Second. There we go. Get my super duper fancy light on. But, I was going to talk about the whole Will. It's apparently was psychopathic still. The pedophile dude. But, Chuck Reeves covers it exquisitely. So, I'm just going to put the link there. So, check it out. But, what I would like to talk about, uh, it's more. I've talked about this before. Calling of the Dark Carnival. So, I guess we're going with that. And I'm just gonna try to jump back and maybe go forward a little bit, but to elaborate real quick or to go over. When I was younger, my dad tried to take me out, I guess you'd say, execute me, delete my life, and it turned me into what I am, the outcast and the juggalo I am. So, yeah. But either way, so when I was in the hospital, uh, as a baby, because they was doing skin grafts and shit on my legs, and I have like flashes. I remember I had cast on both my legs type deal, uh, lower portions of my legs, the shin area and etc. etc. But when I was in the hospital and whatnot, the Shriners, because Shriners do a lot of shit for kids and whatnot, and you know, hurt kids and but the clowns and shit would always come and see me, all the kids and shit. So it's always somehow the carnival, I guess you'd say, has always been present. Uh, it's hard to talk about, because I don't know. But the carnival's always been present within my life, even way before ICP. Always loved clowns, and I've said this before and shit. But that's mainly why, because when I was a baby, and whatever, and all fucking burned up and shit in the hospital, they was coming to make a motherfucker laugh. So it wasn't hard to cross over to ICP when I ran into him. It actually was quite fitting to become part of that lifestyle. And either way, and then I was talking about how, which is an interesting thing, how, like, our brains are so strong that we create reality. And this is true in its own way. That's why the government and the media work so hard on making sure everybody has the same opinion for the most part. You know, because if everybody starts having their own opinion on how the world is or whatever, it might shatter the reality that we know. It's just like science. What's a table, right? All a table is atoms. What we perceive of it ain't actually what it really looks like. Our mind can only process so much information at one time, and the rest is just filler. So, like, when we see certain things, it's not really what we what we see. You know, it's hard to explain. But I guess reality is what you perceive at the same time. So it at the same time it is real, but you can almost tap into that in its own way. And LSD, and I'm not advocating drug use, but LSD and DMT will show you this. And there's a reason why it's so fucking illegal, because it puts you in a different reality, I guess you would say. But yeah, it's an interesting thought because everything I've went uh, through my life, just certain things, just like, oh man, something I run through my head whether I should talk about it or not, uh, like one time, here's a safe story, I guess. I was down at the park, local park where we're around, and so my brother had ran into these one kids that was down there, and apparently one of them had a pistol or whatever, right? So my brother was freaked out. Of course, it was my middle brother, and he runs back and he tells me, he's like, "Hey, this one dude, which he was around my age, give or take, a little bit older actually, I would say." But he said, this one kid has a pistol or whatever, etc., etc., and he pointed it at me. And that shit don't fly. You know what I'm saying? So I had went down there to go check it out, and sure enough, the dude was down there. But then he pulled the pistol on us and started shooting, and we didn't get hit. And of course, we scattered away. Uh, but yeah, I didn't get hit, and it's like I almost saw the flash of the muzzle. And then one time, almost the same deal. I live in the ghetto. If you ain't gonna recognize by some of these stories, but one time we was sitting on my other brother's porch, and we're out there chilling, right? And these car girls come up and they're talking shit, and they're talking shit to one of the females that's in the house or whatever. So my other brother, the one that don't live at the house, because we're all like step brothers, and then we call each other brother, because it's within marriage, so it gets confusing. But uh, so my other brother, whatever, he went fucking caveman style, right? He had almost an empty 40, so he jumps off the porch, and he's like, blah blah blah. I forget exactly what he was yelling, but he was yelling, talking shit, and he threw a 40, at the car, but he purposely threw it beside the car, whatever, and they sped off. Well, about a half hour to an hour later, me and the me and my brother that lives there is on the porch, right? And dude rolls up. Now, my brother that fucking ran out there acting like a fool, throwing a 40 and shit, he done left. So it's just me and homie that lives there. And dude rolls up out of the car. It's a big old fucking white dude, and there's a big old black dude too. They jump out of the car, boom boom. Black guy was driving, the white guy was in the passenger seat. And they start talking shit. And me and my brother, we never been fucking punks or whatever. So we're like, whatever, you're down to rumble, in the jungle. Come on, motherfucker. And So the dude pulls out a pistol and he shoots at us. And that was a little more recent, like about almost 10 years ago, give or take. And I remember clearly seeing the flashes of the pistol that day. It was a little revolver. It was probably only a 22, but still, nevertheless, a 22 could hit you and kill you as well. Bullet's a bullet for the most part, uh, especially when used properly. But yeah, so it was just, I don't know, it's like something's always there. It seems like something's holding my hand. No, it's hard to explain. And like I've said in my other videos before, walking the flat lines, like I've talked about this a few times, just different levels. But it's just, I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, I'm gonna let you go. Whoop whoop. Was kind of a motherfucker.